Hey, have you ever used an app or a website that just felt right? Totally effortless? Well, that's not an accident. That is great user experience, or UX design. It's kind of like the invisible architecture of our digital world. And today, we're going to pull back that curtain and learn its secrets.
Just look at these two remotes, right? One is an absolute nightmare of buttons, and the other is a dream to use. But why? I mean, they both change the channel. The thing is, one speaks a clear, simple language that just makes sense, while the other is basically just shouting at you. This is that invisible language of design, and it's all about making technology feel a little more human.
Okay, so to make this all feel a bit more real, let's take on a little challenge together. Let's say you have to create an online store, and you're selling beautiful, handcrafted goods. It's not just about, listing some products. You've got to create a whole experience. So, where do you even begin?
Right. Our mission is to design a site for items just like this gorgeous woven basket. We want the site itself to feel as simple and as elegant as the products we're selling. And to do that, we're going to use a few core design principles to tackle this challenge.
First things first, we have to understand this invisible language of design. And this isn't about making things look pretty. Nope. We're about to explore some really powerful principles, all rooted in psychology, that help us get inside the user's head and create experiences that just feel effortless.
The design legend Don Norman, he said it best. The whole point isn't for people to admire your design. The goal is for them to not even realize it's there. It should feel so natural, so intuitive, that the user can focus completely on what they want to get done.
So how do we make sense of all the chaos on a screen? Well, we start by leaning into a human superpower, grouping. Our brains are literally hardwired to look for patterns and group things together just to understand the world. And you better believe great design takes advantage of that.
Take a look at this classic image. What do you see? A tree, right? Or maybe the profiles of a gorilla and a lioness. Your brain is actively right now trying to organize these abstract shapes into something familiar. That's Gestalt psychology in action. Our minds just instinctively create a whole thing out of all the individual parts.
And here's how we actually use that in the real world. On the left, it's just a jumble of names and titles. It's confusing. But on the right, just by adjusting the spacing, that's it. We use what's called the principle of proximity to create these clear visual groups. Instantly, you know exactly which title belongs to which name. It's such a simple change, but it dramatically reduces the mental effort. You don't even have to think about it.
So if grouping brings order, our next principle, clarity over clutter, brings focus. This is all about fighting that urge to show the user absolutely everything at once. Because when it comes to design, more choice isn't just not better, it's usually way, way worse.
This is a famous idea called Hick's Law. Just think about getting one of those restaurant menus with like 200 items. You're completely paralyzed by choice, right? Now compare that to a small, curated menu with just 10 amazing dishes. The decision is so much faster, so much less stressful. Well, the same is absolutely true for interfaces. So let's apply this directly to our handcrafted goods store. That layout on the right, with tons of small items, it just creates clutter and that analysis paralysis we were talking about. But the layout on the left, it presents fewer, larger options. This makes it so much easier for a customer to scan, compare, and finally decide which beautiful basket they want to buy. Less choice, faster decision. Simple as that.
Okay, our final principle is maybe the most important one. Every single click, every tap, every key you press, it's all part of a conversation between you and the interface. And like any good conversationalist, a great interface doesn't just talk, it listens and it responds.
See, at every step of the way, the user is subconsciously asking, did that work? Am I doing this right? What's happening now? Good design gives you immediate and clear feedback. It reassures you that the system heard what you did and is responding. This constant back and forth is what makes an experience feel responsive, reliable, and, well, alive. Think about loading bars and spinners. They do way more than just show progress. They manage our expectations. They turn what could be a frustrating, unknown wait into a totally manageable one. They're just reassuring us, hey, we're working on it.
Or what about real-time validation on a password form? This is brilliant feedback. Instead of making you hit submit and then yelling at you with an error, it guides you towards success as you type. It's like a helpful friend whispering hints in your ear.
And even when things go wrong, feedback is absolutely crucial. A generic error message? Useless. But an error that highlights the exact field with the problem?
That's not just an error message, that's a solution. It respectfully tells you what's wrong and exactly how to fix it.
And sometimes feedback is super subtle. That little red notification badge on an app icon, it doesn't interrupt you, it just quietly communicates, hey, there's something new in here for you to see. It's a quiet but totally essential part of that conversation.
So, what's the common thread through all of this? Whether we're grouping elements together, simplifying choices, or giving feedback, we're not just moving pixels around on a screen. We are applying fundamental principles of human psychology to create experiences that just feel intuitive and supportive.
So, if you're going to take anything away from this, remember this. Always create clarity by grouping related things together. Make decisions for your users effortless by limiting their choices. Build trust by communicating constantly with great feedback. And never, ever forget, the very best design is the design you don't even notice.
So now you're in on the secrets. As you go about your day, I've got a challenge for you. Look closer. Look for this invisible language in the apps and websites you use. What little decisions did a designer make just to help you succeed? Because now that you know the secrets, trust me, you are going to start seeing it everywhere.
Like, share, and subscribe.